think we're good. Hi, I'm back. Now you're awkward, haven't you always been? Yeah, I've always been awkward. I don't remember where the best place to put my webcam is for Kerbal 2. So we will go up here, and if potentially it doesn't work, we can go here, right? Like, I've got those two options, right? And if neither of those work, I could just move it. It's fine. It's fine. I think up here is fine for Kerbal 2. I don't know why I think this, but I think it is. I haven't played the game in a while. Yeah, Kerbal. Kerbal's back. So here's the thing. This is what we're going to be doing. And for me, I'm actually quite excited. We're gonna be doing something I haven't done in about a year, and that is a mission log. So this, by the way, is the Womble X mission log, which had all of my launches of anything on my mission mode career that I had on the first game. Now, I will say this, I am not anticipating to go into as depth detail as this in these mission logs, but yeah, we need to set this up, kind of thing. Wow, there was a lot that I never got round to doing. Look, to be determined, like there's a lot of things that we just never did on this. But anyway, this is the mission mode. I want to play KSP 2. So if we did Womble X, for instance, I think this is still a command, right? That gives you a link to all of the stuff that I did for the Womble X save, right? This was the Mark IV save. This was the big save that I thought it was big anyway. And then we've also got the Mark II and the Mark III available there. Bear in mind, these were modified like 2021, right? So yeah, I mean the Mark IV, this was the save that I wanted to really get into, and this was like, we set up the rules and everything like this, and then we never really went on with this. Organization is key, and that's something that never happened. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, so that was the Mark IV. So the first thing that I'm going to do is actually set up a new folder here. We'll do the Mark IV create, and I'm going to archive them. I'm going to archive them. I think it's time for me to do that. I don't see myself going back to this save, unfortunately. How do I do this? Can I just select and drag and drop again? It didn't work. Select it. Drag it. Can you not do that? Move. Do I have to do it that way, or is it just broken? Did I break Google Drive? Is that what's happening? Did I break it? I might have broken it. It's fine. What I will need to do is I will need to come up with a mission log save like that. Now, I'm a little bit reluctant to do it on this stream. However, if we have a look on here on the Friday, 7 PM is Kerbal 2. So I plan on playing this like pretty much in the very next stream, right? The very next stream I'm doing, I'm playing this then. I'm hoping that I will have the Womble X mission log stuff set up by then. I'll probably work on it tomorrow, to be honest. But for the time being, yeah, we'll I'll leave it. For some reason, I can't move files at the moment. I don't know why. It's not letting me move them. Oh, no, it is. It is. Move it. Move it. There we go. Cool. So I think if you hit that new window, you should just get archived now. And the Monk 4 files are still there. All right. I'm probably not going to do... I'm probably not going to do the whole introduction to the save and Kerbal tracking sheet, that sort of thing. We'll probably just do the mission logs, at least for the time being. I can't remember what the launch manifest was. Oh, this told me. This was all the different boosters we had. I remember. Okay, well, I mean, we might do this at some point, right? Like, and this was like the fleet, so this was all the different craft files and stuff that you could do. This, it's all retired now, right? Because that's on the first game. We will see. I'll see how it goes, right? We'll kind of see how it goes. We'll see how stable Kerbal is, whether or not we can make like big craft files. I don't think we'll be able to in this version of Kerbal. I feel like Kerbal 2 is still not quite there. It's still in early access, and I don't really want to... Wait, am I on my main game top left? Perfect. And you know, I don't really want to set everything into this engineering mode. I can probably delete that, actually. They improved FPS and stuff a lot. I've seen there's been a lot of improvements and stuff. But the engineering mode, I'll probably keep the save file. Because I have used it since the newest update, so I wanted to make sure that it was working, and it is. But we are going to start a new campaign. It's going to be exploration mode. Game mode is exploration. Normal difficulty? Nah. Oh, rocket scientist. I think I'm going to go hard. And this is because... Now, I will allow reverts and quick loads. Heating is enabled. Part overheating is a thing. Infinite propellant, no. Tolerance distance for docking. We'll leave that at 100% for the time being. Probes require signal for control. That's going to be on. Unbreakable joints is off. I think you can change this if it becomes an issue and we're getting wibbly wobbly rockets. Then 100% for the rewards, right? But starting points is 0. So the difference? What is the difference? So normal, the tolerance for docking is higher and it includes stock vessels. We don't care about the stock vessels. What's the difference with that? I mean, we could go rocket scientist, but I like the idea of the rewards being 100%. Fitting difficulty name, rocket scientist. Yeah, so those are the differences. It's the reward points. So this is just grind mode, I think, whereas this is... I would say tolerance for docking at 100% is probably easy. I could probably turn that right down, right, and then allow reverts and quick loads. The reason why I want reverts and quick loads, to be honest, is because if the game is still buggy, it is a thing. So it's going to be the Womble X save, and we're not going to give it a mark number. Oh, maybe we should. Maybe we should do like Mark 5, right? Oh, wait, no. Agency name is Womble X Dumbo. This is the Womble X Mark 6. I said 6, and I'm putting 5. Agency flag and colors. Unfortunately, I don't know how to import my agency flag. Like, because we had a flag that we created for Kerbal 1, right? A Womble X save. Actually, it was something that one of the viewers created. I don't know how to do that in Kerbal 2. I will look into it, but for now, let's use this, because I quite like that one. Actually, I really like that one. But no. We will use that as our flag, I think. No, I'm going to use that one. I like that one. That one's my favorite one. I like the balancy thing and the swishy around in orbit and the star. I like that. So we use that. Cadet orientation. What does this mean? Cadet orientation. I'm going to hit yes for that. Agency colors as well. We want to change our colors. And do like a black and a silver if I can get away with the silver. So it's there, right? So a black and a silver. Oh, that's the tutorial. Should we, when able, you'll receive additional information outside of tutorials that will explain features and concepts when first encountered. Recommended if you are new to Kerbal Space Program or when trying new modes that introduce additional features. I'm gonna do this just because it's a new game, although I'm fairly confident I know how to play the game. Like, I'm gonna turn that on just to be on the safe side. Alright, there we go. Shame I can't play it anymore, although I'd give you feedback on how it runs. Why can't you play Kerbal 2? Why can't you play it? No, so I did load up the new version of Kerbal. Mainly, in essence, it's the same game, but I think you'll notice a different feeling in playing it. Yeah, that was what I noticed. So I have already played the update because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't like frame choppy. Although science is different. Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll have a look. We'll see. I'm presuming on like science mode it'll give me like objectives, right? Like, objective to get like points to get through. So my PC is damaged and I have no idea what's broken, so all I can play is GeForce now. And it's not GeForce. I think the GPU, but you have no idea. Already swapped motherboard and RAM. Yeah, it's possibly a GPU issue then. That's annoying. I hate it when things break and you don't know what causes it. It's frustrating. Now, I do have to acknowledge in my brain, headcanon brain, is my PC's been running quite a lot, like all day today, and it's not had a rest, so maybe we're starting to lag out. Inventing witty loading hints. I've just noticed that. Pumping sim ones. So yeah, we'll play this for about 3 or 4 hours maybe, and then we'll jump over to Euro Truck Sim, I think, for the last part of the stream. So just in case people are wondering, I will be creating a playlist on the YouTube channel of... Oh. I haven't seen this. I have seen this. I remember this.
Your new space program.
This gave me a lot of hype when the first game, when it came out, right?
Since the dawn of Kerbal kind, we have looked to the sky and wondered what sublime
It's Carl Sagan.
lie hidden in the darkness.
The
Like
galaxy is
jewels
made
never
of star
beheld.
stuff.
These untold treasures may soon reveal themselves due to the efforts recently founded Kerbal Space.
Oh my!
I got that
I think that might have
reference.
been the only copy of the orientation film. Hold on! Slides, somewhere. Ahem. Welcome to your first day running the Kerbal Space Program. This campus hosts the greatest ever gathering of astronomers, astronauts, and engineers. After years of focused effort, this collection of geniuses has created several very impressive buildings. We believe we have all the necessary pieces to take our first steps off the ground. The best way to advance our technologies further is to get up there and learn by doing. All we need now is somebody to show us how to put all these parts together. Well, we also need somebody to help us out with the flying. We need a lot of help, actually. That's why you're here. My name is Paige, by the way. If you need any hints, feel free to visit me over at the training center. Everything in there is well padded, so it's a great place to get up and running. Welcome aboard!
Is this new into the game, or did I skip this? Is that new? Or did I watch this once when it first released? I'm not sure. I'm generally not sure. Hello and welcome to the Kerbal Space Center. Probably skipped it because it's not new. I didn't. Okay. This campus has everything you need to turn your fledgling space program into the stuff of legends. I think there is a playlist actually of all the Kerbal 2 action I did, like the 3 streams or whatever, and then I was like, no, I can't play this. This is unplayable. I think on the YouTube channel, so we could maybe check that. Are you playing in exploration mode? Be sure to visit Mission Control. Completing missions is one way to earn science, which will let you purchase technologies through R&D Center. So it's very similar. If you want to start building right away, the vehicle assembly building is where you want to be. Our engineers have created a training program that will guide you through the building and flying your very first rocket. I don't need it. You can go through those lessons here at the training center. Maybe I did skip it. Yeah, I feel like I was, like, my gut instinct for that sort of stuff is skip it. I've got like 5,000 hours in Kerbal. I know how to play. Mission Control then. Let's have a look at these missions. We'll see what we're getting. Launch a rocket. Time to launch the Kerbal Space Program's inaugural vessel, a fully functional rocket. Launch a rocket from Kerbin and achieve an altitude of at least 10 kilometers. Science equals 25. Brought to you by the Kerbal Space Program, the nerve center of the agency. Kerbal Space Center is home to all the brave and obsessed enough to travel through the stars. So if I track mission on this... Mission brief. Hello, Director. I'm Dr. Gary Kerman, the department head of the Mission Control. Mission Control is just one of many impressive buildings we've finished. It's got that new building smell and everything. Here you'll here you can access everything you need to know about and embark on mission to earn science. Also, welcome to Mission Control and blah 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 blah. Okay. If you're interested in tips and tricks, exciting discoveries, life, and the campus, the more mission brief, and join me in the mission brief. Read all about it. There's no pressure. Oh, okay, we're continuing. When the mission's last objective is complete, come back here and submit your mission report. After a quick mission debrief from me, we'll turn the paperwork into sweet, sweet science. Interesting. So, I have a question. If I decide on my first launch to go to orbit, do I only get the 25 science and then, like, they're like, nope, now you need to go to the moon? Is it more profitable to just do the 10-kilometer jump? Maybe. If you want some practice, go to the training center and take the mission Missing the Ground refresher course. After that, it's time to go to work, or, as I like to say, shoot for the mun. Now that we have a director, it's time to build the launch program's inaugural vessel. Our first mission, your objective is to launch a rocket from Kerbin and achieve an altitude of 10 kilometers. It's hard to have a space program without launching a rocket. Feel free to track your mission and poke around the mission tracker. Poke gently though, all the equipment here is new. You'll collect all science still, even if you go to Eve on your first mission. Okay, so I still get the chance to get the other sciencey stuff. Got you. When you're done, come back and submit your report. Good luck, Director. But that will make you still go to orbit. That was what my question was going to be, whether I could like skip the missions. Over and out. Okay. That seems pretty cool. What's the R&D center? Let's have a look at this. So, starting rocketry, I have 0 science, but starting rocketry, which is the things I think I've already got. This is research, so I've got the tin can, fuel. Oh, maybe I won't be able to go to orbit. I might be able to go to orbit. I've got separators. We've got changeling adjustable fins, and more importantly, we've got a parachute. But I've got no heat shield, and heating is on now, right? So maybe orbit isn't the best place to go. I think maybe we just do the first X amount of whatever. We've got the Reliant there, and some radial decouplers and some nose cones. That's the next stuff. Let's have a look at the... Yeah. Continue. Why? How do I get rid of this? This thing. This is annoying. There it is. Okay. So then we get solid fuel. So basically, I'm going to get 25 sites. So I want to figure out what I need to get first. I have to get that with the first 10. So that means I've got 15 left over. So I could get solid fuel or environmental science, which is science junior. Favorite smaller satellites and landers. Might not be a bad idea. Probes. Wait, what is this? Environment survey is a favorite for small satellites and landers. Well, I think it's probably a good idea not to risk the Kerbals too much. So we'd probably go with the probes first, maybe. We've got separation stuff and aerodynamics. Interesting. And we've also got like different layers of tech stuff. So this is layer 1, I see. And you have to go through solid fuel orbital rocketry, Mun landing stuff, and power launchers to be able to get size 2 stuff, right? Mediums things. Yeah, I see. Nuclear propulsion. Size 3 is the heavy rocketry stuff, and size 4. Okay, I get this, right? Okay, so they have changed the way that this works quite a lot. I mean, this is a lot of science. Interesting. Space trucking. Yeah, so this is a lot of science. Okay. But it makes sense that it would be scalable, right? Okay, so we have to get the light launchers first. I think our first objective should be to get that 10k thing and then get the light launchers and the solid fuel boosters. Already saw some new parts. What new parts have you seen? Now, I've been told to stay away from fairings because apparently they are not currently working, so I'll keep that in mind. I mean, there is quite a lot of parts here, so I don't know. When you hover over aquatic science, was that down here? I don't know where the aquatic science was. No, I have a feeling like that might have been up here, maybe? No? Here? Aquatic science? I don't see... I've got atmospheric science, but no aquatic science. The last page. Am I just being blind? Aquatic science. Oh. Oh, that's a submarine. Liquid Oceans on Lathe and Eve. R&D team at Seabug Sciences modified by their deep sea probes. Interesting. Okay. Right, let's go to the... Has there been any changes in the tracking station? I'm curious. I don't think there has. This is still a pain to move. Kerbal's not changed. I should have turned off page. So Kerbal's not changed. Let's go... Where? Vehicle assembly building. That's what I want. If it takes 1 pound of fuel to carry 1 pound of payload into orbit, how much fuel is required for a 2 pound of payload? This is the part picker. We've done this. Okay, so we don't hello? I should have turned off page. She's already annoying. Okay, so these are all the parts that we've got. That's it. I guess. Okay, so there are still some bugs. Um. Okay, thank you. What does that do? What does the eye thing do? How much delta V is that? Less about the amount... Oh, I didn't want to launch it. No, I'm not ready to launch it. I'm not ready. Go away. What's my... Revent... Makes a sound. I don't... How much fuel is required for 2 pounds of payload? So I'm finding it weird, Kath, that you're saying pounds, right? Like, when Canadians use the metric system, so I'm a little bit confused. £2 of payload. I don't get it. Where's my engineer's report, right? So TWR. Perfect. We've got more than enough. And I should have aerodynamics, right? Yeah. Fine, I'll rephrase. If it takes 1 kilogram of fuel to carry 1 kilogram of payload into orbit, how much fuel is required for 2 kilograms of payload? I don't know. I feel like this is a trick question, right? Need more variables. Yeah, thank you. Where are you launching it from? We need more variables, Kath. So, do these have invert controls? They do have advanced controls. So I could do pitch roll or yaw. I just want roll and pitch, I think. No, you don't. So this is our testing rocket. Sounding launcher. How much delta V will I have? I got your own space fleet and Dyson Sphere program. Time to wreak havoc. Like, the delta V readout here is wonky, right? So how do I don't want Bob Kerbal in it. I want Bob. Where's Jeb? Gilney, Jonga, Honey. No, we need that. TWR lost due to Atmo body launching from. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you, Discount. Discount gets it. We need more info. Trip planner. I don't remember this, but both are launching from the same location and time. Tin can, coupling, impulse. I still feel like it's a trick question, so I refuse to answer. We don't need them on, apparently. Doo-doo-doo-doo. We've got the fuel in deploy settings. There we go, 500 meters. Deploy when safe. Engine. Thrust limiter. Like, how do I... Because it says down here I've got a delta V of 3,000 meters a second. I know that's not true. How do I change... Because I feel like that is... Gonna be fairing enabled, fairing disabled. Okay. I feel like that is going to be atmospheric. So how do I change that to non-atmospheric? I feel like the 3,000 meters a second is if we put this like in space. Because surely these have two ISPs, right? So you've got ISP at Atmo is 280, or ISP for vacuum is 320. I feel like we're going to have to do the delta V calculations, right? It's not a riddle so much as a question of physics and reasoning. The first impulse is for someone to say 2 grams of fuel. However, that doesn't account for the extra mass, the additional fuel. Correct. It might not make it, as tow rockets might not be able to lift the additional mass to orbit. Correct. It all depends on like the engine, the efficiency of the engine, and all sorts of stuff. Which is why we both said we needed more variables. What is the delta V equation? 9.81 times by the natural logarithm of... Oh, bollocks. I can't remember. What's the delta V? Double click the bar on the right. Huh? This? Ah. But, no, yeah, see, it's vacuum, so... Ah, I see, thank you. There we go, that's better. Now, yeah, okay, so that seems much more realistic. So in order to go for orbit, we would need... No, you guys were just trying to complicate the question. The question itself was already complicated. Do we have do we have to launch this in like a budget? Right, so this atmosphere. You were trying to make it more so. That. Unfortunately, I've got no like anything to like kind of round that off, but it'll have to do. If we limit down now the apply to all stages? No, I don't want to apply to all stages. Okay. Seeing if we can make orbit. I feel like the more fuel we're going to add is not going to be the answer, but... still think we can do it with this, right? What's the TWR? I'm losing track of that now. TWR still good? So let's... What if we bring down the thrust to 50% on those? That one, the center tank needs to have more thrust so it burns through the fuel quicker. Let's get rid of those. And then let's decrease the thrust on the outside tanks. Mind you, I'll still got like the same dry mass, right? Why just make me go to the store? I'll be back in a bit. Okay, no worries, man. Thank you for your face. Bum, 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 bum. I mean, we can make orbit, but I'm not gonna. You know, we're not going for orbit. That's what we decided. We weren't gonna go for orbit. We will just make a nice simple rocket. We don't need to go to orbit, right? Like, that's not the... I just wanted to see if it was possible, which it is if you play around with it, right? We need a name for the... I mean, we could go up to space, though, right? Like, we could get up to space. I guess if we only need to go up to, like, 10k, like, that's gonna be this, right? Like, it's gonna be that rocket, I think. Because the TWR is gonna be crazy. We need a name for this. We need a name for something that goes up. Do. I could call it like something weird, like Ascent or something like that. Yeah, we'll call it Ascent 1, right? I like that. Ascent 1. Cool. Alright, let's save. Vehicle name, new workspace. I don't know how these workspace files work. I never figured that out. So, Ascent 1. I think, actually, let's make it a little bit more beefy. We'll do that. Ascent 1. I do need more thrust, though. And we'll see how that goes. Okay. Cool. Ascent 1. Are we ready? Let's go and launch. It's not complicated one, but why are you making it complicated? Well, you're ready to fly. There are a few pointers. It contains all your flight controls. You can speed up and pause time. Staging. I remember all this. So our goal, if we remember, is to get to 10k. And I'm kind of hoping that... Don't kill Valentina. I know, right? Like, Valentina is like the best out of all the Kerbals. Because she's named after a real life cosmonaut. There we go. We going straight up. I'm not even gonna like pitch over that much. We'll pitch over a little bit, but we don't need to go up by much. I wouldn't mind having a splashdown, so I am actually gonna pitch up a little bit. But we're not going to orbit, so just need to clear the center. Don't need to go too fast either. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna throttle right down. There we go. Made it. We did it. Do you know what? Actually, I've decided I want to go to space, so we're going to space. I should have enough delta V to make it. You could orbit if you wanted to. I couldn't orbit. I don't have enough delta V to orbit, but I can definitely make it to space. I don't have enough to orbit, but I can make it into space. And when I say space, I mean break the Kerman line. There you go. In fact, if anything, with my Delta V, I probably could have re-landed the craft. I've still got 600 meters a second left. I could have landed it back on the launch pad if I really wanted to, but I didn't want to. No, I wouldn't have been able to make it to orbit. You need 3,400 meters a second to make it to orbit. I only had 2,300. So it was only ever going to be a suborbital vessel. Look how happy she is. I know, right? She's so happy. I wish I could... Can we go into cockpit mode yet? No, I don't think we can. Now, I am going to bring the landing a little bit further in so that we are closer to the KSC. Spacewalk time. I don't think that would be safe. I mean, we are now back in the atmosphere, right? So we weren't... we didn't make it out of... We didn't make it out of... out of what you might call it yet. I know what I mean. So if you're wondering what I'm doing right now, I'm effectively doing a boost back burn. I don't want to go on a spacewalk just yet, Serenity. It's not safe to do a spacewalk when you haven't created enough delta V to created enough energy to escape the atmosphere kind of thing. It's not safe to do a spacewalk, so I wouldn't do that. In theory, that should drop faster because it's got less of a... What's it? Although I might have dropped it on the KSC, which would be awkward. Who said anything about safe? I always do safe on Kerbal, right? I'm hoping that that is now armed and ready to deploy. And it will deploy at the right time. I hope that the chutes are the same as what they used to be. But yeah, we made it to space. I think. I'm pretty sure we went over the 70-kilometer limit. I didn't want to land like miles out in the ocean though, because our trajectory was to go and land over there, right? Like, so I did like a boost back burn, almost. Yeah, Apo was 73 kilometers. Did I make it up to the 73-kilometer line, though? I don't know if I did. I didn't switch over to the sea level, so I presume I did. Oh, there goes the parachute. Oh, goodness Christ, that's... like, parachute pops right at the last minute. That's so nerve-wracking. Your view was obstructed. Oh, right, yeah. So, talking about views, am I okay with my webcam here, or would you prefer me to go here? Maybe here is better, because we've got these things here, right? These things that are popping up, but then they pop up underneath me. Performing experiments generates science reports which can be returned home for science. Crew observations. Did I... Crew observations ready? Run crew observations. Experiment... Oh. Okay. Fine. Whatever. Webcam is fine. Cat was not. Okay, so you guys don't really care about experiment research. Go outside. Some experiments must be run by a Kerbal on EVA. Oh, I see. Running surface status. Vessels actions. I wonder if I can change where that is actually, so then we can put my webcam back up where it's supposed to be. Settings. User interface. I wonder. Do you know I'm going to go large and fast? Dialogue auto continue is off. Input audio. Yeah, I don't think I can move where things are, but I can turn up the UI scale, which might not be a bad idea for the stream. Right? Okay. Did you run the surface? Oh, wait, what's this? I can't. How do I pull this down? What is this? So there's definitely something up here that I can maybe drag down, but I can't see it. How do I get in? G, F maybe to grab on, and then B? It used to be B. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure what I've done with this, but I've broken it. So I do have some crew observations. I just think I saw a school of kittenfish. The water is extremely salty, is the surface sample. And surface sample results 95% water, 3% salts, and a small percentage of organic and inorganic substances. Samples must be returned to the KSC. Data is something. So can we transmit it? But I mean, I don't want to, but you only get a small amount of science back. Interesting. So how do I get rid of this thing here? How do I recover vessel? Recover vessel. Confirm. You've had enough science to develop new technology. When you're ready, head over to the R&D sector. I am going to move my webcam back up here. Okay. He sits in the front of the monitor, effectively blocking half of it, and you have a 49-inch monitor. It's bigger than mine. Vessel destroyed? What? What vessel was destroyed? What do you mean, vessel destroyed? Oh, wait, no. Was that the booster segment? Might have been the booster segment. Makes sense. I don't care about that, but we got this back records. So, highest altitude was 70 kilometers. I only just made it over the 70 kilometer mark. So we made it into space then. So let's go back to the KSC. Let's go to mission control. Launch a rocket. Let's see what this does. Submit. Thrilling work on the launch pad today. A reporter passed out because of all the excitement. Then again, it could have been the rocket fumes. They asked all about you, and I said, no comment. I think the joke went over their heads. Oh, I hate this. Anyway, you're off to a great start. After I debrief, submit your mission report and earn some science. Brap, brap. Don't forget to swing by the R&D center and see what new parts are available. The folks in the R&D have ideas for some cool advancements. A little bit of science can make those ideas real. When you're done unlocking new technologies, return here for your next mission. Over and out. Sure, thanks. Science, launch a new rocket. Which I have done, and I went above and beyond. I did 7 times the requirement. So, out of the atmosphere. Launch a rocket from Kerbal and achieve an altitude greater than 70 kilometers. So I guess we will track that mission next. I guess that's the next primary mission. Can we... Mission brief? Hi, Director. You're just in time. We're in the middle of a crisis. I could launch the exact same mission, right? I could do the exact same thing. Someone left a rude sticky note on the staff ridge beside the pole for best vending machine on campus. It began, was the first launch really a success? The sentiment was mostly positive, but the writer, those identify, I will track down whose identity. Ended on a harsh note. Vessel didn't punch past the atmosphere. Lied! Lies, lies, lies. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Wasn't badical enough. Badical? Now, why is that tone so irritatingly familiar? Good thing I was carrying an ultraviolet flashlight because the writer somehow fit a second message in invisible ink. It said, if mission control punches through the atmosphere and into space, I will buy them 3 coffee makers. I'm gonna do more than that. Well, we accept their new challenge. The perfect mission objective. Your objective is to launch the rocket from Kerbal and fly higher. than 70,000 meters. Oh, we're doing more than that. As tempting as it is to go through the atmosphere, we must make sure you're not planning an escape for Mr. or Mrs. Notewriter. Get out there and get those coffee makers. I'm going to get an intern. I can read, okay? I can read. I'm going to get an intern to track down the sticky note culprit. Good luck and return when your report is ready to be submitted. I'm liking this. This is good. This is a little bit fun. Obviously. Let's go to research. Right, so we're going to take the... I've got 53 science now. So we'll take the light launchers and we'll take the solid fuel, I guess. I mean, I guess I could take environmental science. And why not make a little bit of a probe? Why should we risk our Kerbals when we can send a probe up into space, right? Where are the heat shields? Good questions. Is it in utilities? No? Struts? Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned that we... Oh, survivability. That's the heat shield. So maybe we should take aerodynamics and stability first. So we can get heat shields. Although, that being said, do we really need the heat shield? SRS is always good. SRW. Small reaction wheels. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily need reaction wheels, but reaction wheels would be good with, like, probes and stuff, right? I kind of... I'm doing a probe next, but in order for me to do that, I think in order for me to launch a probe, I need... Ooh, tiny engines. Yeah, tiny engines. I would definitely need that. Orbital rocketry. Oh, I don't need the Terrier to get into orbit, mate. I really don't need the Terrier to get into orbit. Okay? I don't need that. I don't need that. We got everything we need right here. Let's have a look. Battery decouplers, truss segments and stuff. Basic docking, that could be quite fun. Miniaturization, tiny engines, power launchers, Mon landing. I like how it goes orbital rocketry, Mon landing. We're not going to the Mon yet. Yeah, I think nice progression. First flight, advanced satellite network. Yes. Well, I mean, let's be honest though, Serenity. Like, the first rockets launched on Earth, right? Orbital class vessels were not human rated. We didn't send humans first, right? We sent satellites first. So if we were being realistic, and I like to play Kerbal as realistic as possible, I know it's a goofy game with, like, funny little dialogue and everything, but I like the challenge of playing a little bit more realistic, right? If we're going to be realistic, we want to get the probes. Plus, if everything goes wrong, I'm not killing Kerbals, which I don't want to do. So I think sending a probe would be a cool idea and seeing if we can return it back. In that case, send the dog's nests, then the apes. Yeah, exactly. Well, in all honesty, that would not be fun. So I'm either going to go and do the aerodynamics and stability, which I don't currently need. I don't need these winglets. Like, we don't need that. We've got enough gimbal in the swivel engine for me to be able to control it, I think. That being said, you know, the Reliant engine is doesn't have a gimbal, right? Because realistically, that swivel engine is like a second stage engine. But I've got the SRBs as well, right? So we've got side boosters if I really wanted to. So environmental science is a must, but I think we should do probes. Now, the problem that I'm going to have with probes is that if I lose control, if I lose signal, then I lose signal, right? Now, Sputnik, how long did Sputnik stay up in orbit for? What, like three revolutions before it crashed? Sputnik. Sputnik 1 was the first orbital. It launched into elliptical low Earth orbit by the Soviet Union in 1957. It sent radio signal to Earth for 3 weeks before its 3 silver zinc batteries ran out. Aerodynamic drag caused it to fall back to the atmosphere. So it stayed up in orbit for about 3 months, then 4 months. About 4 months it stayed up in orbit. So it wasn't up in orbit for long, right? Now, I don't really want to leave junk up in orbit in the save. However, it'd be pretty cool to go back and revisit this once we can. I think we've got like let me have a look. Let's see if we've got like grabbing devices in the game. Tiny and large docking. Maybe it's in here? Specialized docking? Maybe they don't. Maybe there's no, like, grabbing units. Maybe they got rid of those. So, I am reluctant to leave junk up in orbit. I mean, there is a way that I could deorbit it. That's fine. I mean, we can launch an aerial strike, right? If I really wanted to, I could definitely deorbit it. Wait, we've got grid fins? Since when have we had grid fins in Kerbal? Wait, what? There's grid fins? Three patches. Interesting. Grid fins were the first new part to be added. Oh, cool. Yeah, I gave up the game very early on. Okay. Does that mean there's potentially grid fins in the normal Kerbal game? Yeah, I don't think there's a way for me to like grab onto stuff, but we could always engineer a way of deorbiting it later on if we wanted to. So I think we should go probes. So let's go probes. Let's lock it in. I've now only got 8 science remaining. All right, let's go back to the vehicle assembly building. And we're going to create Stay Putnik 1. Unfortunately, I don't have a fairing, so it's not going to be overly realistic, but Stay Putnik I. So we're going to have that. We're going to have a little bit of science. Let's just see what else we've kind of got to make this look a little bit nicer, I guess. Deployable antennas. Why? Why? Oh, it's 2. Right, 3 is anchor, 2 is to rotate. Okay, good to know. Get over here, parts manager. We need a little bit of solar panels on this, right? Like, come on now. Game. Why are you not? Actually, do I want solar panels on this? That's the... Well, I guess it wouldn't be a terrible idea, right? Like... Why? Does it just not want to attach onto here or something? Like, it will go on the Stay Putnik, but I guess it doesn't want to go on the Science. Got to make it look good, right? Nice little probe. Now, of course, with this probe is gonna not have the best of... I suppose the only thing I can put on this is the swivel, which makes it look ridiculous. Okay, I've decided I don't want the probe yet. I don't... Because in order for this to... Like, if I'm gonna launch a probe, I want it to look good once we're up there, so we're not doing the probe. So we may as well go back on that. Do another one of these, make sure we've got the parachute, but at least we can do that for the future. How much mass does the... What's it have? And what's the tolerance of these parachutes? Impact tolerance of 12 meters a second, but how much? Shift for more view. Okay. 2.8 kilonewtons. Max safe velocity. It doesn't say how much it slows down a craft for. Okay, so we will just have this, and I am going to put batteries on this because I feel like if I didn't put batteries on, if I don't put batteries on this, I'm not going to be able to do the science stuff, right? And I will also put the communication on here. No. I'm so used to hitting 3. So when I want to deploy the science and send the science back, we can extend it, right? Like, cool. Let's put... I don't have a heat shield yet. We'll do that. So this is actually going to be ascent 2. I don't know how these workspaces work. Do you want to override your existing vehicle build with the same name? I think I get it, right? The workplace is the vehicle name. So let's go back to this one. So this is Ascent 1, and we want to save this as Ascent 1, right? And I wonder if I can name the pods. I know you used to be able to like name parts of the craft. Am I going for orbit for this? I think I am, right? Like, I think we are. So we've got the swivel. What other engines do I have available? I've got the Reliant. Okay, cool. So this, it needs to be vacuum, right? So that's 1,328 meters a second. So if this is the stage that needs to circularize, we need another 2,000 meters a second, I think. But this thrust limiter, because this TWR is going to be massive, we don't need it to be. We don't want Bob. Why is Bob the first one to get in the craft? I'm going to put in Valentina again because Valentina is our pioneer. I don't want you. Engineer report. Here we go. TWR. Command pod is missing a heat pod. May not survive Kerbal re-entry. What is the re-entry tolerance? I'm a little bit nervous by the re-entry tolerance, so I'm going to use the engine kind of as a heat shield. What's the mass of this? Assembly anchor, launch anchor, center of mass, area of thrust, area of lift. Oh. I don't think it really matters. Because the lift will not come. This is the upper stage. That's 1,300 meters a second. I need to remember that. Cool. The next stage is going to be a little bit of this. There's the Reliant. And this will have some stabilizers. Do I have radial decoupler? Good, I do. For a second I was like, wait, did I get the radial decouplers? I do have the nose cones as well, perfect. Excellent, so weirdly enough, this actually has, that needs to be atmospheric, delta V. Weirdly enough, that's got a good amount of TWR. What's the actual delta V in that bottom stage? So you've got 1,400 meters a second in that first stage there. I'm going to increase the amount of fuel. Because we've got the TWR to deal with it. In fact, actually, we're going to increase the amount of fuel a little bit more because I'm going to put solid boosters on this. 3,300, then we're going to have solid boosters to get it off the pad. Perfect. Easy. And this should have more than enough delta V to be able to make it into... I mean, I could do. Where is the... What's it? Where is this? Now that gives me quite a lot of TWR, so I am going to reduce the amount of thrust in these SRBs just ever so slightly. There's actually not that much thrust in these SRBs. We should maybe put that on the same. Oh, there we go. Now there is. Now there's a lot. Just going to give us a little bit of extra delta V. So we've got 3,800 meters a second. That should be enough, right? For orbit? Right, chat? I mean, it is a weird looking rocket. Where is my area of lift? Why is it doing that, though? Does this have lift? No. Okay, so now the area of lift is like way over here. Why? Why is the area of lift there? Okay, it's changed. But it's still pulling in that direction. Why? There we go. I don't know why that's like that, but it is what it is, right? There we go. Ascent 2. Should we go? Going for launch. Check my staging. I think we're good. Is that limited on throttle? It isn't. But my TWR is like crazy good right there. Yeah, 1.6. If anything, I could reduce that down to like 30%. Go to 25%. Yeah, 1.4. Perfect. Am I missing anything? We've got my science there. I mean, I don't think I really need anything else, right? Save it. One final time. Saving it. Alright, let's launch it. Why is this now down to 3,200? Why has that changed? Oh, this is why I hate... Maybe because it's like counting them all as one stage, maybe? I don't... go, go, go. Yeah, but I don't have enough Delta V down here now. I don't have enough Delta V down there now. So I can't go. Oh, I wonder. Wait, hold on. I think I know what. Fire the engines. No, I'm not firing the engines because the Delta V readout's not working. Like, not accurate. It won't make it to orbit. I'm going to orbit. SLBs are not calculated. Why are they not calculated down there? Oh, it's a game bug. Okay. Thank you, discount. But they are calculated in here, though, right? Okay, I will trust that I've got enough Delta V. One of them, I mean, we're getting two separate readouts, so one of them is going to be correct. I can only do as good as what the game will let me. Here we go. Roll program complete. Oh boy, I can't pitch over. Well, at least I've got rid of those. I can't pitch over because I don't have... Work! Okay, I'm an idiot. I've got no control surfaces. Like, these control surfaces are not working how I thought they would. It's not pitching. So we're not making orbit today. Like, are these just, like, not... Are these not actuating control surfaces? Maybe not. Well, it's weird though, because it let me do my roll program, right? But it's not letting me pitch over. Or at least it wasn't letting me pitch over. It kind of is letting me pitch over now. Weird. I don't think I've got enough Delta V to make it to orbit. I think it's gonna be close, right? Oh, I hate that. That's not good. No, I don't think we're making it to orbit. That's annoying. Well, at least we made it. Yeah, I lost out Delta V because I wasn't pitching over, so we didn't actually make it to orbit, which is a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Why is this not... Why doesn't this disappear? Is this because I've changed the UI around a little bit? Is that that must be a game bug, right? So let's change the user interface back down to the... There we go. We'll do it to 115 so that I can still see it. There we go. Cabin low orbit. You've got detailed measurements of the environment. Whee! Run crew observation. How much electrical charge do we have? So we're not using... Electrical charge isn't turned on by the looks of it. You've gained a detailed measurement of the environment. You got a detailed. Must be returned to the KSC. Samples must be returned. Data. What is this? How do I do this? You must... Oh, I can click experiment there and it just picks up the experiments? Is that right? Crew observations. You record the crew's assessment of the situation. I see. Can I transmit that back? Oh, it is using my electrical charge. Okay. Has earned you 24 science points. I see. So over here, experiments actually gives you what experiments and it will auto run them. That's pretty cool. Well, I guess I didn't make orbit, which sucks a little bit. Valentina's gonna burn to a crisp. Do you think? I'm hoping that the heating in the game is going to be very much the same as... Oh my goodness, never mind. Oh no, part of your vessel destroyed from overheating. Yeah, I'm thinking that the thermal heating is going to be the same as... like the first game kind of thing. Oh boy, that science capsule is about to blow up. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't. Yeah, maybe she will burn then. That's alright, we can revert. I was expecting it to be the same, but obviously the heating threshold is not. Yeah, it's definitely a lot like the first game. I mean, the first game you could survive without a heat shield, right? Okay, good to know. Revert to VAB then. So confirm revert. So yeah, we're not going to orbit. We can't go to orbit without the heat shield. That's it. Full stop. You can't go to orbit without the heat shield. So yeah, heat shielding, the heating stuff is a lot more brutal in this game than what it was in Kerbal 1. That's good. That's good. This is good. Right, well then. if we are not going to orbit, let's load Ascent 1. We'll load that one. And we're also going to merge Ascent 2. Oh. Maybe it didn't work. Tolerance a bit lower. You can do orbit without heat shield, but gotta be a bit more picky how you do it. I see, okay. I guess because, I mean, like, in the first game, Valentina would have survived that without the heat shielding, absolutely. But yeah, the tolerance is definitely a little bit lower. Alright. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get rid of this. Aha. I see. It merged it into the same location. Got you. So we'll get rid of... let's undo that. Let's do this. Put that on there. And that, right? Because we don't need... We don't need anything more than this, right? Like... Because all we're doing is going up and coming back down. So this is going to be Ascent 2, and I'm going to save over the previous Ascent 2. Because the previous Ascent 2 is not what... It doesn't work, so... what I will do is that. And also that. And this. Bring that down. Bring that up, maybe, then. And we want that to be atmospheric. Wait. I've got these staging in the wrong order. Why is this so difficult? Okay, there we go. So I've only got 1,800 meters a second now, but I can, because my payload's a little bit bigger, I can increase my thrust. Yeah, about there. Okay, so that will do. We will pretty much go straight up to orbit. Not to orbit, sorry. We're just going to go like straight up, basically. We're not messing around. I wonder, can I do this? Because, and I quote, I'm an idiot. I mean, I am an idiot. Like, it's very well known. It's no secret. That's no secret. I'm enjoying this though. Like, I feel like the game is playable, right? But we need to get as much science as we can in order to... Sorry, I'm watching this. I'm not sure that I put enough fuel on this. I want to make sure that we can get enough science as possible. So that we can unlock that heat shield. There we go. If I'm honest opinion, I recall last time we were counting frames when launching. Absolutely, Cyan. We're not counting frames right now, are we? Like, we can play the game. Like, it's not we're not playing slideshow simulator, right? Like, we can actually play the game. I do want to land closer. To the KSC, though. Though they will lose interest with KSP after 2 seconds because it's too complicated. Not necessarily. There we go. We should go. I might even land it in the KSC now. I might have burnt a little bit too much. We can do all of that science. I'm going to transmit as much as possible. We're not going on an EVA though this time. I might have messed up a little bit here because this is not going to be a splashdown landing. This might get a little bit sketchy, but that's fine. Oh, I should have extended that. I kind of wish that like it worked the same way as Kerbal 1 did, where it automatically extended the antenna and then retracted it once everything had been submitted, if that makes sense, but it doesn't. We're also going to run out of battery power as well, which is hilarious. I love it. Okay, we may as well retract that. We're out of electrical charge. And this is that. And I believe it was that, right? Looks like a pretty cool game. Is it possible to program the flight patterns, or are the burns, etc. done manually? In Kerbal 1, yes, Cheering, but it is complicated to do that vanilla. You can get mods and stuff for Kerbal 1 to be able to do all of that for you. In Kerbal 2, not sure. Not sure. This is like the first proper time I'm playing Kerbal 2 now. But I've got like 5,000 hours on Kerbal 1, right? A lot of... Do you know what I've just realized? The center of mass... Oh no, that's okay. It flipped back over. I was like, it's going nose first. Yep, still going nose first. This is not good. Why is Bob in there? Do the Kerbals have... I'll tell you what. Risky! Okay. I get it. So, this is the problem. Basically, your center of mass wants to go before your area of lift. That scient module that's on the bottom of the capsule must have an area of lift, or the area of lift on the capsule is being pushed up forwards, right? So it's wanting to dart. It's doing a dart. Like, you think of when you throw a dart, you've got your nice sharp metal object on the front, you've got your nice fluffy feathers on the back of the dart, and then it goes forwards, right? Well, if you had it the opposite way around, if you've ever tried to throw a dart backwards, it will always flip over and the heavy metal object will be going first, right? Well, apparently the science module must have some area of lift of some kind, right? Because the center of mass is too far forward, so it's wanting to re-enter like a rocket, basically. Bad. That's bad. In case you're wondering, that is bad. So we have to fix that for this to work. If I don't fix it, then I guess we can decouple the science module for landing. That's your other option. We'll figure it out. I'm enjoying this though. Like, this is fun. This is me relearning the game. I'm liking this. Bob's not that important. See, this is... So, the way I used to play Kerbal, by the way, just in case anyone was wondering. Kerbal 1, I used to have like an extreme hardcore mode where 0 reverts or anything like that. You're not allowed to revert back. You had to do everything as realistic as possible. All the science was on like... I used to play career mode, and like science gathering was on like 30% or something stupid like that. So you had to go and do a lot to be able to get technologies and things. So I'm used to playing Kerbal badly, but point number 1, it's been a year since I've played Kerbal. Kerbal 1, that is. Point number 2, this is a new game, right? This isn't quite... I mean, it's the same principles of Kerbal 1, but it is a different game, and they do fundamentally work different. So the part that I've got there, that science part, that was never in Kerbal 1. So this is a brand new part for me. I've never experienced it before, and also I think I've crashed the game. So there's a number of reasons why we're crashing here. Like, mistake number 1 for me was re-entry, right? Like, so this game has much harsher re-entry temperatures than the first game, which is good. That's a good thing. I like that. I always thought that the fact that you never needed a heat shield to re-enter the atmosphere of Kerbin was a bit crap. From like low Kerbin orbit, you really didn't need a heat shield. Now it looks like you do. However, it does mean that I have to relearn some of like the smaller mechanics kind of thing, right? So I need to like think about area of lift and center of mass on the return vessel and things like that. Which to be fair, I used to do that a lot. I used to do like all sorts of tests and stuff before we launched in mission mode, but hey. So, in terms of the Kerbal mission log, like the Mark V mission log for Womblex, are we going to do that? Are reverts allowed? Yes, reverts are allowed. I've said that for the Mark V, or at least for this one, it is allowed. Do I classify this as a Womblex save? Probably not. Reason being, because I'm learning the game, right? Once I've learnt the game, once I've gone to all the different places in Kerbal 2, then we'll do a Womblex save. A proper one, like a hardcore one, where we do it realistic kind of thing. Everything is real life rocketry, and we like bring in boosters and put on different payloads for the boosters and things like that. I think there's too many bugs for me to do that realistically in Kerbal 2, but we get in there. We get in there, and that is a good thing. That being said, it looks like I have crashed the game because it's not... You see that flashing? That's me, like... By the way, this is what I'm looking at on my screen, right? That's what I'm looking at! You guys are still looking at this! Which is the better desktop, right? Like, which is better? Is it that? Or is it this? Which one's better, chat? This. Or this. Which one's better? Oh wait, no, it changed. It changed from rockets. It changed. It changed just as the moment as I swapped it back over. I do think Kerbal has crashed though, because it's not like nothing's loading. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Here, let's put my big face all over everything. See if I can close the window. See if that helps. Play. That's the first crash, though. That's not too bad. I mean, we've been playing for a couple of hours. It's only just got to the point where it wasn't going to load what it wanted to do. I'm a little bit worried that it didn't revert, but hey, I mean, if it didn't revert, it doesn't matter. I'm sure there's ways around that, right? Why is Minecraft still running? Stop that. No wonder I'm having issues. No wonder I'm having issues. For science. So how's everyone doing, by the way? How is everyone doing? Are you all having like a good New Year's thing? Turing, have you had your New Year's yet? Like, when's your New Year's popping up? No, not quite yet, right? Is it, what, 11 o'clock nearly? Nearly 11? Hey, Racing, how's it going, my dude? We're waiting on Kerbal to load back up, so we're stalling. Because Kerbal crashed. So, just bear with me. Tell you what I can do. I can put on some music. There we go, that's what we'll do. That's loud! There we go. New Year's snacks. I could go and get some snacks. I am going to have a break in like an hour, I think. Oh, something's happening. Something's happening. We got a private division logo and we got all the other logos. The Microsoft Azure PlayFab. Oh, there we go. Something's loading, so this is good. We'll see the state of the... Oh, there we go. Wait, no, that's the wrong hotkey. Turn off the funky music. There we go, we got Kerbal music back, it's fine. Important health warnings that I skipped. Single player, let's go to the Womble. So, I mean, it's called a Womble save. I'm wondering if I can rename this. I do have an autosave here. Unfortunately, I have a feeling the autosaves. We've got 62 science there. I have a feeling this might be the crash save. I'm not sure. That's the orbital thing. Maybe if we load that, we'll see. We'll see where we're at. We will load the craft file. Yeah, so what are you guys up to? Are you doing anything nice this evening? Or are you just coming to chill and relax and have fun and chew bubblegum? Do you know what I need to do? I need to set up the, like, consuming 2 GWs while producing 1.5. Consuming what? I'm confused. Consuming 2 gigawatts while producing 1.5. I get you. You're talking about Dyson Sphere, right? We were talking about this earlier because I was playing it earlier. I'm having serious power issues. I can't, since I can't play KSP myself, I enjoy watching me struggling. I'm not struggling. This isn't struggling. This is me learning. I'm not struggling. Struggling would be me doing the exact same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right? I'm learning. Like I know what's wrong with the thing now. May have over-factorized my planet. Is that your starter planet? Yeah, I'm not struggling. Absolutely not. Sounds like learning something. Yep. That's your starter planet. Well, I mean, like I said, we'll, Oh. Okay, so if you reload this... do you have... Question. Do you have a... You've got a jetpack. So he has a jetpack, but he doesn't have a parachute. Okay, so the deployment settings on this, we're going to deploy here when risky. And I'm hoping that that will do it. Another thing that we can do... is potentially put our SIS there. I can't revert to the KSB now, unfortunately. I got no fuel left to decelerate. Agreed. I know. A little bit annoying. We probably won't survive this. I'm kind of hoping I might be able to save Bob somehow. I was hoping that Bob would have a parachute automatically attached to him, but it doesn't seem like he does. Alright. I do have jetpack, but I don't know how to use that. Jetpack status off. I don't know how to turn that on. Yeah, so I don't really have a way around this. I'll tell you what, let's F5, because we may as well save, right? I wonder also, actually, if there are other load saves on this. Ascent 2. I do have Ascent 2 here. But I have a feeling that that's 1 day, 16 minutes. This is 1 day and 12 minutes, right? So I have a feeling that was Valentina's so far. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to really hope... that this works. There we go. I body slammed it. I body slammed it. Bring it, game. I can Kerbal. I can Kerbal. I can Kerbal. Why did the parachutes not work? What? Why didn't the parachutes work? Right. Wait. Hold on. I think F9 should reload it. I can Kerbal, but the parachutes didn't deploy. I was like, I'm spanning. Why aren't the parachutes working? Right. Deploy settings. When safe. Don't like that. Okay, I don't know some of the mechanics on this. So, well, deploy obviously just immediately deploys the parachute, even if you say deploy when safe. So it doesn't work the same. So here's the thing, right? It doesn't work the same way as... Pause. It doesn't work the same way as Kerbal does, right? So Kerbal, you used to... arm/disarm, so maybe that's what it is. You used to be able to hit the deploy action and it would only deploy when safe, right? So I want to deploy this when safe. I think armed is the correct answer here. I think. From what I'm seeing there. So it is now armed And once it gets to the 5,000 meter mark, it should do its thing. So, okay. It apparently has already deployed. I'm a little bit confused. But there we go. I mean, I knew I could game engineer that around, but I'm confused. Maybe I was like, minimum pressure is 0.01 kilopascals is... I remember how it works now. Yeah, so that's the pressure of altitude. Deploy mode is when safe, right? So these have a tolerance of like how fast you can be going with the air resistance for them to deploy. For whatever reason, right, let's F9 because I want to do a few tests here because I want to make sure I get this right. But the way I'm understanding it, how these parachutes work, and I think it's similar to how Kerbal 1 used to work, is if you arm disarm it, it will just fire. If you stage it, it should go to the armed disarmed segment, right? If I increase the pressure to max here and deployment altitude to say 750, right? It's probably not going to be as effective. 0.75 kilopascals. Is there a way then to have a look, see what my altitude, see what my pressure is. Now, I used to be able to hit like F12 and get the debug menu up, but I don't think that's a thing in this game. Anyone who's played a lot of Kerbal 2, does anyone know if there's a way to get up the debug menu so you can see what atmospheric pressure and stuff there is available? Alt F8, thank you. No, this isn't. Oh, show Aero GUI, thank you, perfect, that's exactly what I wanted. Okay, so we've got dynamic pressure here. 93 pascals. Static pressure is 23.9. So I'm curious to know what our external temperature build-up, like speed of sound, is this at the moment. Angle of attack. Okay, I'm just gonna silently observe this, so just bear with me so I can figure it out. You guys can look along with it as well if you'd like, but I need to process it in my brain to be able to understand it before I can articulate what's happening. So yeah, just bear with me. So what we're going to do, we're going to detach that and we're going to hit armed. I got it. I figured it out. Okay, cool. Right, I can explain it. It's your dynamic pressure. That's how much. Oh wait, no. Is it static pressure or is it dynamic pressure? Well, we'll find out in a sec. If this hit, no, it's got to be static pressure, right? Because when that hits 7,000, that's when this should be okay to deploy. So whereabouts is that going to be? 7,000, right? Are we ready? 7,500? It didn't deploy. Okay, I don't understand it. It is armed, right? Like... Is it 75,000 pascals? Oh yeah, of course it is, because kilopascals would be 100. Wait, no, 100,000. I thought a kilopascal would be 1,000 pascals, right? So 0.7 kilopascals. Static pressure is 62,000 pascals. That should be 62 kilopascals. Or am I reading this wrong? Well, if it deploys at 75, then I know, right? It didn't deploy. Huh. This must be a bug. It's got to be a bug, right? I don't get how this is working, because by all reasoning... Here, let's pause it again, right? By all reasoning... so if we do Alt F8... it's... Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Show error GUI is on, right? Because this time they, so that should be... So 0.1 kilopascals, right, should be 100 pascals. Am I right in that? That's right? Yeah? Correct. Right. So that should be 100 pascals. So the static pressure here is 36 pascals. So once we hit the 100 pascal mark, this should automatically deploy, right? Like that's when the chute goes up. Now it won't like kind of spread out. That's what the deployment thing is, when it spreads out, right? So when it kind of like goes, okay, I'm deploying to create maximum drag, that should be at the 950 meters. Just to be clear, we'll keep it at the 1000 mark because that's easier for us to see. $100 pascals is about sea level. Are you sure about that discount? Because, I mean, we're already at 36 pascals right now as static pressure, and we're at 43 kilometers. That's from the 44.9. So there's got to be something wrong in this, right? That there's a bug somewhere, right? I'm not going crazy, or am I going crazy, right? Discount, I feel like you're probably one of the best people to know this, because you played a lot more. So 100 kilopascals is sea level. Okay, noted. So the minimum pressure here, if I have 0.75 kilopascals and sea level is 100 kilopascals, that should deploy a lot sooner than it did. Right, so let's keep it at 0.1 kilopascals. I'm going to stage everything so we can. Right. So everything is staged. So this is now deployed, and we'll wait for this 100 to pop up. If it doesn't pop up, Okay, so we're now past the point where this parachute should have popped. 0.1 kilopascals, right? We're at 0.1 kilopascals and the parachute hasn't opened. Like, it hasn't deployed. It hasn't made the explosiveness. Now, is that because of our speed? Maybe. It could be. How high is my speed? At the moment, we're at 774 meters a second. Do we know what the tolerance is of the Mark 16 parachute? What is the tolerance of the Mark 16 parachute? Sub 200, do you reckon? Okay, so we are currently going too fast for the thing to... Wasn't it 280 or something? Okay, so that makes sense then. That makes sense. So let's do immediate deployment. So this should just deploy, right? There it is. Okay. It has deployed. So now I'm curious to know whether this thing, once it's deployed, is going to rip off or not. Because it's creating drag, right? It's definitely creating drag because I'm slowing down. $40,000 kilopascals. So now we should be at 1,000 meters before the whole thing actually deploys. So it seems like the parachute doesn't actually destroy itself like it did in Kerbal, right? Right? Okay, so that's fine. So let's redo my old thing and see if we were just not slowing down enough. So we'll redo it the way that we had it before. Deployments, it's on safe at this. So we'll just see it, like, now I care about how fast I'm going. I want to see if naturally I will slow down. Okay, it was 180 meters a second. No, it's not 180 meters a second for safe deploy. Oh, there we go. It deployed. Okay, that doesn't answer my question, because that time it worked, but the other time it didn't. So it's got to be something to do with pressure. It's got to be something to do with pressure, because I didn't turn up the pressure on that one, like I have before. So let's pause the game again. Let's do, is it Alt F? Put on the GUI. Let's pull this up, deploy settings. We're going to deploy when safe. We're going to turn this all the way up to 0.75 kilopascals, deployment altitude of 5,000 meters, just because we can. And I'm going to just queue those up and continue, right? So that is now armed. This is now armed. So this should, in theory, it should deploy once we get to 0.75 kilopascals. So 700 pascals here, because it doesn't seem to be affected by the surface velocity. It hasn't deployed. And now I'm getting into the thicker parts of the atmosphere. It still hasn't deployed. So it's got to be to do with this minimum pressure. That must be what's breaking the parachute. It's the minimum pressure that's breaking the parachute. So what I'm learning here is don't mess with the minimum pressure of the parachute, because it's not deploying, look. It's still not deploying. even though I'm well above, I'm well above that minimum pressure, 0.75 kilopascals. We're well above it. We're at 42 kilopascals. It still hasn't deployed. And we're well within safe velocity. So yeah, there's a bug. There's a bug in the parachute. There we go. That answers that question. There we go. We found a bug. Anyone want to argue with me? Like maybe somebody's got an explanation for this, but I feel like I've found a bug here, right? Even if I continue this through, I'm gonna crash. Oh no! What? Yeah, I haven't found a bug. So why is it not repeatable then? Why is the thing not repeatable? Maybe I need to go back through the stream. Maybe I just didn't stage the parachute. That's another option, right? I mean, the other option is that I just didn't stage the parachute. It's definitely staged now. Like, I mean, I definitely feel like I was at 700 meter deploy altitude and 0.75 kilopascals, right? Oops. Alt F8. So I would have thought that the chute would have popped by now, but it hasn't. It still hasn't popped. Oh, it's the deploy altitude that's the bug. Huh. So that's where the bug is. So there is a bug here somewhere, right? Because it's either there's a bug in the game or there's a flaw in my understanding on how the game works. Those are the two options, and I'm thinking there's a bug in the game, right? So if we go Alt F8, let's get the HUD arrow up. So we were. I realize I'm fixating on this, but I want to figure this out like every time. You know what? Let's do that. We will hit F5 so I don't have to keep redoing that. So let's just double check this, right? So if I hit we'll keep it on the C altimeter, right? So right now we're at 42 kilometers altitude, well, nearly 43. We've got a surface velocity of 720 meters a second. 720 meters a second. That will only rise. Like, we need to hit terminal velocity, get thicker into the atmosphere, and then that will drop down. The way I have this set up, the pre-shoot, the drogue shoot almost, should pop at 0.75 kilopascals, which is 750 pascals, right? So that should be around about the 37 kilometer mark, thereabouts. Maybe 35, right? So that's that, right? So that should deploy, but deployment mode is only safe, so it's not going to pop out unless it is safe to do so. The deployment altitude of the extended parachute, the actual parachute, is 700 meters. But it isn't going to deploy at 700 meters because the main chute hasn't pulled, or the drogue chute hasn't pulled to pull out the main chute. So I'm thinking the bug is somewhere to do with the deployment altitude. If you drop it below the 1000, it's not going to deploy, like, ever. So that's what I'm thinking. So what we're going to do, we're going to repeat our failure, which is this. We're going to repeat the failure and then alter one variable. That's what we're going to do. Repeat the failure, then alter one variable. Ooh, okay, so I've already failed this test because I did it in time warp. And that's created extra drag. Okay, so where are we at now? We're at 1,300 meters above sea level and 1,100 meters above. We're going at 275 meters a second, so if... I need to have a look and see what the safe threshold deployment mode for this parachute is. Because it should have popped by now, but if we do, like, that... Nope, it's not doing it. Yeah, it's just not. It's the safe deployment mode. You've got to deploy it on risky. Wow. That's funny. I like that. So it's got to be the safe deployment mode then. You've got to do it on risky. Right, I'm gonna recover this on risky because we know it can be done. Alright, so we're just going to, like, deployment settings, risky. Or immediate. I'm just going to do it on that because we know we can save the craft if we just deploy it straight away. So this version of the parachute doesn't actually create a drogue chute. Looks, it's not slowing us down. Oh no, it is creating drag, right? No, it wasn't really slowing us down. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. Sorry, I'm playing around with things. This is the last attempt, and then I want to go into the craft file settings. Right, let's do it back to normal. There. There we go. Deploy everything. Just gonna time warp until... There it is. So I don't understand why... Yeah, see, this is what I don't understand. Is if the deployment altitude is 1,000 meters, it will abide by the minimum pressure, even when under safe thing? I don't understand that. Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, what's our current pressure right now? 27 kilopascals. Yeah, I don't understand it. I feel like there is a bug here. From what I'm understanding, I feel like there is a bug here. Yes or no? I need your help, guys, because I can't figure it out myself. I'm usually fairly good with like this sort of weird, buggy stuff. Oh! So that destroyed the parachute that time. The parachute destroyed that time. Interesting. I am so confused. I'm so confused. I don't quite get. Don't quite get it. Default name 2. Maybe time warp is also a factor? We're just gonna let it play. Time warp must also be something that's kind of like wonky. I like the animation, the visual effects they've got there of the parachute itself. Looks pretty nice. Now all they need is like decals on the parachute. That would be really cool. As if you could have like decals that was on that, like so it would flutter. I don't know if that's doable, but. So I'm going 8.2 meters a second, which I think the tolerance for this Science Junior is like 8 meters a second. So I think this might blow up on your face. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just recover the vessel. Confirm. I'll go back to the KSC. So let's go into the VAB here. And I kind of want to see what the stats are on this parachute, and then we're probably going to leave it there, and we'll come back to this on Friday. So where are the parachute stats? Shift to view more. So drag, semi-deployed is 2.8 kilonewtons, deployed is 2,800 kilonewtons, so it is increased by a factor of 10. Maximum safe velocity is 240 meters a second. So there we go. That could be the problem, is the safe velocity is 247 meters a second. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Now I know. It is 247 meters a second is the max safe velocity. Interesting. Now we know. The Mark 16 parachute's really not great. I did think that I was going to struggle to use that and the bring back the tin can and that science thing. I mean, how much? Yeah, impact tolerance is 8 meters a second. I did know that. Okay. Well, that was definitely interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Let's go to mission control, because we'll see what they say for the next mission. And then we'll come back to this. Out of the atmosphere is submitted. There we go. Oh, hi, you're already back. Not only did you achieve the objective, but you did so with minimum explosions. Don't you say anything, chat. Snitches get fucking stitches, okay? Take that, Jep. That's right. Turns out our new intern snuck the mean sticky note into our break room on his behalf. Jeb's been wanting to press our big shiny thanks science button ever since he heard it would be dangerous for someone with no button training. Sounds about right. Legal told him he can't touch the button until he's gone through the advanced button pros pressing at the training center. Apparently he's channeling his frustration into tiny sticky screeds? Screeds? What's a screed? Thanks to your effort, we now have 3 new coffee makers from Jeb's company. Well, maybe not entirely new, but there's a bit of junkyard taste. I have a bet with a few other department heads to see if who can brew the strongest coffee. The winner gets a new office appliance. If I win, I'm getting a 4th coffee maker with all the works. Exciting times, Director. When you're ready, come by for your next mission. I know I'll see you Luna or later. What the fuck is a loon? Did you make it to Mars yet? What's Mars? What's Mars? What's Luna? What the fuck? Shouldn't it be Moona? Or Duna. Duna later would have been better, I think, but hey. It is what it is. Launch a rocket from Kerbal and achieve an altitude greater of 70 kilometers. Thanks, science! Did you make it to Mars yet? No, we've been testing out bugs. Orbit Kerbal second buoyancy test. The vessel recovery team wants you to run some splashdown tests. Are the pods really airtight? Pods aren't meant to sink, but then again, they aren't meant to explode either. Probably best to get out there and see what happens. We will track that mission, and we will also establish an orbit around Kerbal with an apoapsis less than 300 kilometers and periapsis greater than 70 kilometers. So in order for me to do this, we need a heat shield, right? So that will be our next thing, I think, on Friday. That's probably what we'll be aiming for, is actual orbitification. And I have 86 sites, so we need that and that. We'll get orbital rocketry as well, because that will make it just easier. And I mean, I've got more adjustable tubing, panels, launch clamps, I-beams. Hell yeah. How much more do I have left? I've got 26 balance left, so I can get truss segments. That's probably a good idea. I could also get fashion lighting and landing legs. So we can either do landing legs and flashing lighting. We could do other decoupling devices, including Sepatrons, which actually isn't necessarily a bad idea. Or we could do basic truss segments for style. I think actually I want the Sepatrons, maybe? I mean, I don't have struts, but I don't need them just yet. So, small payloads. Cargo bay. Airstream protective fairing. I think the fairings are the things that are broken, right? We do have cargo bays. Well, we need to make orbit, right? And I think if I want to make orbit, I mean, ideally I'd like the tiny engines bit, but if I want to make orbit, I don't necessarily need to get it back from orbit. So let's do the satellite idea that I had. We'll launch a like Sputnik or something. It is, yeah, that's what we'll do. So we'll get the trusses. Okay, cool. I'm going to save the game just so that we've got it. It's not really Womble X Mark 5 because I don't think I'm going to go into as much detail as what I did in the old Womble X saves, but I'm calling it Womble X Mark 5 because why not? Okay, so save and exit. Basically, I think that is a good place to leave the Kerbal stream, right? Womble X Lite. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a Womble X Lite thing. It's while I'm learning Kerbal 2. Like, this is the save that I'm going to learn Kerbal 2 with, because there are differences. Like, there are things that are fundamentally different from the first game. Also, it's been a while since I played the first game, right? Okay, so I'm going to have a little bit more of an extended break now. And when we come back, we will play some Euro Truck Simulator. Chill down with Euro Truck, right? Apparently, Euro Truck, yeah. Here, we'll do Euro Truck. I haven't played Euro Truck in a while, so we'll jump into Euro Truck Sim. And then, yeah, that's probably going to be the last bit. But I'm going to take an extended break now. I need to get some food and I need to get a new drink and everything like that then. So I will be back shortly, just so you're aware. Kerbal Space Program 2 will return on Friday, the 5th of January. At 7 PM. I'm probably going to be really tired and I'm going to hate myself for scheduling Kerbal. But it'll be a 2.5 hour stream, thereabouts. It might change. It might change. I don't know. We're trying out a new scheduling thing. I know. Schedule. To get organized, right? Like, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. All times are BST. No, all times are GMT. BST is British Standard Time, which is the summertime. And be a sellout? What sellout? I ain't no sellout. I'm not getting paid for any of this shit. I'm only a sellout if I get paid, right? That's how that works. GMT, yeah. At all times are GMT. They're my time, right? Do your conversion. I live in the UK. Do your own conversions for the times, right? Like, and they're all subject to change as well. The times are, like, fluctuating. I'm trialing out the schedule. I don't know whether I'll stick with it. It depends whether I can make it work, right? I'm just trying something new. That's what I'm doing. Anyway, I will be back. I need to go use the facilities and get some food, so I'm going to be about half an hour.